for those of you who prefer inner tubes, we'll show you how to install a tube on the side of the trail. CushCore reduces the risk of getting a flat, but at the end of the day, the tire still contains air and it's still possible to get a flat tire. If you prefer to repair flats with an inner tube, you have two options. You can remove the CushCore and install a standard inner tube, or you can leave the CushCore on the wheel and install an inner tube around the insert. To use this method, we recommend a 29 by 2.0 inch tube with a 60mm valve stem. This works with most MTB tires, both 27.5 and 29. The long valve is required because we're going to poke it through the CushCore insert. This will leave a small hole in the insert, but it will still work normally and won't absorb sealant. Remove the front wheel and gather your tools. You'll need 2 tire levers, a pump or a CO2 inflator, and your inner tube. Next, find something nearby to use as a rim support. You can use a stump, a stick, a rock covered with a tool pack to protect the rim, basically anything with an edge that can support the rim while allowing the tire to flex. It's important to get the wheel up off the ground, so the tire won't fight us as we're trying to break the bead. Some people prefer to break the bead using just their hands. If you'd like to try this technique instead, just make sure the rim is well supported, then use a sharp downward thrust with the heel of your hand against the tire. Once the bead breaks in one spot, it'll become much easier to unseat the rest. Once the bead is fully unseated, insert 2 tire levers about 5 inches apart. Flip one tire lever, and the next, and then proceed to pull the bead over the rim. Now remove the CushCore air valve. Unthread the cap and the lock nut. Then peel back the tire and the insert and poke the valve through the hole. Now grab your inner tube and make sure the Presto valve is closed. Peel back the tire and force the valve directly through the center of the insert right over the valve hole, and add a small amount of air to the inner tube. Then tuck the inner tube up inside the tire and around the circumference of the CushCore insert. Use the roll and tuck technique to get the bead started. Pull the tire in, push the insert away and peel it back from the rim, and then tuck the bead in. As the insert snaps back into position, it'll hold the bead in place. Now I've gone about as far as I can using just my hands. I'm going to grab my lever and take 1 or 2 bites to bring the bead into tension. After a couple bites with my tire lever, I brought the bead into tension. You can see it's basically straight. And now it's time for us to go around the wheel and drop the bead. The goal here is to get the tire bead fully into the drop center of the rim. Continue this technique all the way around the wheel, rotating the wheel to make sure that the rim is well supported. You'll know you've succeeded when you see this gap between the tire and the rim. Okay, now that we've created some additional slack in the bead, it's time to go back to our levers and finish the job. It can help to install the last 2 levers at the same time, so after you flip one, the final lever is in position already for the last pull. And you're done.